I made a mom cry on a plane because she wanted my seat but wouldn't give up her own. Last week I was flying to visit my parents in Florida. I had paid an extra $75 to upgrade to an economy plus seat because I hate being cramped on planes, and this was a 4-hour flight. I got to my row and put my bag in the overhead bin. My seat was 14C, right on the aisle with tons of legroom. Perfect. I sat down and was getting my headphones out when this woman walked up to me holding a boarding pass. "Excuse me," she said, looking down at me with this expectant smile. "Would you mind switching seats with me? My son is 9 and he has anxiety about flying. He's back in 32B and I really need him to sit next to me." I looked up at her. She was standing in the aisle blocking everyone trying to board. "Oh, that's tough," I said, "but I paid extra for this seat. How much cash do you have to reimburse me for the upgrade?" Her smile dropped immediately. "Are you serious right now? You're really going to make a child with anxiety sit alone? That's so cruel." I stayed calm. "Well, where are you sitting?" "Right there." She pointed to 14B, the seat right next to mine, also economy plus. "Okay, so why don't you offer your seat to whoever is sitting next to your son in 32B, then you can sit with him and everyone's happy." She looked at me like I just suggested she jump out of the plane. "I need the leg room. I have a bad back and I can't sit in those cramped seats for 4 hours. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "So, let me get this straight. You care more about your own comfort than your son's well-being? If you really cared about him sitting alone with his anxiety, you'd give up your fancy seat and move to the back with him." Her face went bright red. People around us had stopped boarding and were watching. "How dare you?" she said, her voice getting louder. "How dare you question my parenting?" Then she just lost it. She started crying. Not quiet tears, but this full-on wailing sob. "How could you do this to me?" she screamed. "How could you be so heartless?" A flight attendant came rushing over asking what was wrong. The woman was sobbing so hard she couldn't even talk. She just kept pointing at me and crying. Finally, another flight attendant helped her back to her original seat next to me where she sat down still crying into her hands. The whole plane was staring at me like I was the worst person alive. I just put my headphones in and looked out the window. About 10 minutes later, after we'd taken off, I noticed the woman was gone. I figured she went to the bathroom. Then this middle-aged guy walked up grinning ear to ear. "Is this seat taken?" he asked, pointing to 14B. "The flight attendant just gave me a free upgrade. Said the woman who was here moved to the back to sit with her kid." I started laughing. "That's awesome, man. Enjoy the legroom." We ended up chatting the whole flight. He bought me a drink to thank me for whatever I did to get him upgraded. When I told my girlfriend about it later, she said I was completely out of line for questioning the woman's parenting in public and making her cry. But I don't feel bad at all. She wanted me to pay for her choice to prioritize her own comfort over her kid.